it feels like everywhere you turn these days, someone's talking about AI, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a full-blown gold rush out there.
Yeah.
And today we're diving deep into the wild world of AI,
Mm-hmm.
but specifically focusing on the fascinating relationship between Microsoft and OpenAI.
Right.
It's like they're partners, but also kind of rivals.
A little bit frenemies.
Yeah, little frenemies.
Yeah.
It's complicated. So we've got a whole stack of articles and research papers here.
Awesome.
And we're going to try to unpack a lot of it today.
Okay.
Microsoft is doing some interesting stuff with their in-house AI development.
Mm-hmm.
OpenAI is making headlines with these super expensive AI agents.
Right.
And then there's this whole other thing called the belief state transformer,
Yeah.
which is like a totally new approach to AI.
It is.
So buckle up, everybody. It's going to be a wild ride.
So what I think is so interesting here is how this relationship has changed over time. You go back just a few years and they were like the perfect couple, you know?
Total power couple.
Yeah, exactly. Microsoft invested billions of dollars in OpenAI,
Yeah.
became their exclusive cloud provider.
It seemed like nothing could come between them.
Right.
Yeah, they were inseparable.
But now things are getting a little spicy.
Yeah, definitely heating up. Because Microsoft is now building its own AI.
Mm-hmm.
They've nicknamed it MAI.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like they're trying to directly compete
Mm-hmm.
with OpenAI's GPT series.
Yeah.
So what's the deal with that? Is it all about saving money?
Right.
Or is there something more to this story?
Well, it's definitely not cheap to run these massive language models.
Oh, no.
You know, we're talking specialized AI chips,
Right.
huge server farms to run everything.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It adds up really quickly.
For sure.
So yeah, saving money is probably part of it,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it's also about control.
Yeah,
If Microsoft can build its own AI,
right.
they can really bake it into their products.
Yeah.
Make it a core part of everything they do.
And maybe not have to rely on OpenAI as much.
Exactly.
Okay, but speaking of expensive,
Yeah.
we got to talk about these OpenAI agents.
Oh, yeah, those...
$20,000 a month.
It's a lot.
I mean, seriously, are they hand-delivering these things on a silver platter or what?
It's wild, right?
Yeah.
There's so much buzz around these agents.
Right?
OpenAI is saying they can do all these amazing things.
Yeah.
Like work at the level of like top professionals.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Yeah.
some big companies are buying it.
Yeah.
Like SoftBank is pouring billions of dollars into these agents.
It makes you wonder what they see that maybe we don't.
Right. Are they just caught up in the hype?
Right.
Or is there something really revolutionary going on that we're missing?
Yeah.
It's a big gamble, that's for sure.
It really is.
Especially when you see these other startups
Yeah.
offering coding agents for like $500 a month.
Yeah. It's like a huge difference.
Huge.
Makes you wonder.
Yeah, does OpenAI have some secret sauce?
Right. Is it really that much better?
Or are they just taking advantage of the whole AI craze?
Yeah, because it's not like they're offering a money-back guarantee.
Yeah, that's a good point.
All right, so let's get back to Microsoft's in-house AI MAI.
Okay,
How does it actually stack up against the competition?
right.
Is it a real contender, or are they still playing catch-up?
From what I've seen, the early reports suggest MAI is actually performing really well.
Oh, wow.
Like on par with the top models from OpenAI and Anthropic.
Mm-hmm.
And Microsoft's already using it internally
Oh, really?
to power some of the features that they were using OpenAI's tech for before.
Yeah.
So if MAI keeps improving,
Yeah.
this could be huge.
Okay.
Imagine Microsoft making MAI available through an API.
Oh, like how OpenAI does with their GPT models?
Exactly.
Like
It
that.
could make advanced AI way more accessible.
Right.
Could totally shake up the industry.
Interesting, and I guess it's worth pointing out that Microsoft isn't putting all their eggs in one basket.
No, they're not.
They're also testing out AI models from other companies,
Mm-hmm.
like Meta and XAI.
Yep. They're exploring all their options.
So it seems like they're really committed to becoming a leader in AI,
They are.
no matter who ends up building the underlying technology.
Yeah, they want to be at the forefront.
Okay, so we've talked about products and competition,
Mm-hmm.
but let's shift gears for a second, talk about something really groundbreaking
Okay.
that's happening over at Microsoft Research.
Yeah.
The belief state transformer.
That's a good one.
I have to admit, I'm a little obsessed with this one.
A belief state transformer, or BST for short.
BST.
This is where things get really interesting.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Most language models,
Mhm.
they process text in a linear way,
Right.
like reading a sentence from left to right.
Okay.
But the BST is totally different.
All right, so what makes the BST so special?
It's like it has a superpower.
Okay, lay it on me.
Okay, imagine you've got a maze.
Okay.
Most language models are like those kids who just keep running into walls.
Yeah.
They're only looking at the path they've already taken.
Okay.
But the BST is like that kid who takes a step back,
Uh-huh.
looks at the whole maze, and
Right.
thinks about where they want to end up
Hmm.
before they take their next step.
Okay.
It uses both forward and backward encoding to understand text.
So it can plan ahead.
Exactly.
Wow, that's a great analogy.
Thanks.
So it's not just about understanding language.
You?
It's about understanding the goal
Huh?
and figuring out how to get there.
Right.
Are there any, like, real-world examples where this really makes a difference?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay.
So there's this problem called star graph navigation.
Star graph
It's
navigation.
basically you have to navigate from a starting point on one branch of a star-shaped graph
Okay.
to a specific endpoint on another branch.
Got it.
Traditional language models, they try to cheat.
Oh,
They just pick any valid next node.
so they're not really planning ahead.
Exactly. They
Okay.
never really learn to think strategically.
But the BST doesn't fall for those shortcuts
No.
because it considers both the past and the future.
Exactly.
Wow, that's impressive.
So it's forced to plan an actual path
Yeah.
that leads to the desired endpoint.
Okay, so is the BST only good for these imaginary star graphs, or does it have real-world applications?
Oh, it definitely has real-world potential.
Okay, good.
Researchers are already using the BST for things like story generation,
Oh.
and the results are amazing.
Yeah.
It seems like the BST can create much more coherent and logical stories.
Because it can see the big picture.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So instead of just stringing sentences together,
Uh-huh.
it actually thinks about the overall story arc
Right.
and makes sure everything fits together.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's like it can write a story that's not just grammatically correct,
Mm-hmm.
but also emotionally engaging
Well-
and makes sense.
Okay, so the BST is clearly a powerful tool with a lot of potential,
It is.
but it's still pretty small
Right?
compared to these massive models like GPT-4, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
It's working with millions of parameters
Yeah.
compared to the hundreds of billions in GPT-4.
Right.
But the main takeaway here is the principle behind it.
Yeah.
This idea of forward and backward encoding.
Mm-hmm.
It gives AI the ability to plan and reason
Right.
in a way that we haven't really seen before.
That's super cool.
And this is a concept that could be applied to much larger models,
Yeah.
potentially revolutionizing the whole field of AI.
This is all so incredibly exciting. It feels
Yeah.
like we're really on the verge of some major breakthroughs.
I think so too.
And Microsoft is really pushing the boundaries.
Yeah, they're all in.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
Talk about all the cool stuff happening in the world of AI.
Uh-huh.
But let's bring it back down to earth for a second
Okay.
and think about how this AI arms race is actually going to impact businesses and users.
Great.
Is it all hype, or are we on the cusp of a real revolution?
I think that's the big question.
It is.
So in part 2,
Mhm.
we're going to delve into those real-world implications.
Okay.
So buckle up for part 2.
All right, so welcome back to our deep dive into all things AI.
Mm-hmm.
We've been talking a lot about Microsoft and OpenAI and all their
Yeah.
big moves, but
Mhm.
I want to shift gears a little bit
Okay.
and think about you, the listener.
Mm-hmm.
How is this AI rivalry going to change things for businesses
Yeah.
and for everyday users like you and me?
Right.
Is it all just hype,
Mm-hmm.
or are we really on the verge of like a major revolution?
Well, I think, honestly, it's a little bit of both.
Okay.
You've got some companies that are jumping in head first.
Yeah.
They're super excited to use AI for automation, for efficiency,
Right.
to get a leg up on the competition.
Yeah, makes sense.
But then you've got other companies that are more cautious.
Yeah.
They're taking a wait-and-see approach.
Right.
They want to see how things shake out
Yeah, like
before they invest a lot of money.
yeah, especially with those OpenAI agent price tags we were talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Not every business can afford $20,000 a month.
No, especially smaller companies.
Right, they have tighter budgets.
Exactly.
So that's where I think Microsoft's MAI could really change the game
I think so, too.
if they make it widely available
Yeah.
at a reasonable price.
Mm-hmm.
It could really democratize access to advanced AI.
Right.
So even small businesses could use these powerful tools.
You could level the playing field.
Exactly. And that could lead to a whole wave of new innovation.
Definitely.
Okay, so we've talked about businesses,
Mm-hmm.
but what about us everyday folks?
Right.
How's this AI revolution going to affect our lives?
Well, AI is already a bigger part of our lives than you might realize.
It is.
Think about personalized recommendations you get on streaming services,
Yeah.
or those spam filters that keep your inbox clean, or, even those voice assistants that help you navigate traffic.
It's true. I don't even think about those things as AI anymore.
Right.
They've just become so normal.
Part of everyday life.
Exactly. But with these new tools coming out, like Copilot,
Yeah.
and these even more advanced AI agents,
Right.
it feels like we're just scratching the surface.
I think so too.
Imagine a world where AI helps you write emails or schedule appointments.
Or even generate creative content.
Yeah, it's like having a super efficient personal assistant.
Totally.
But a part of me wonders, you know, are we becoming too reliant on these tools?
Right.
What if the AI makes a mistake
Yeah.
or something goes wrong?
The valid concern.
I'm not ready to completely hand over the reins.
It's like any powerful technology. We need to be thoughtful
Yeah.
about how we develop it and how we use it.
So it's not just about how cool the technology is.
Right.
It's about making sure we use it responsibly
Exactly.
and ethically to make sure it benefits everyone.
It's about shaping the future.
Yeah. And one area where I think AI has huge potential is scientific research.
Oh, definitely.
Imagine researchers using tools like the BST to accelerate drug discovery
Right.
or design new materials.
Or, solve complex scientific puzzles.
Right. And the BST's ability to plan ahead
Yeah.
and think strategically seems perfect for those kinds of challenges.
It could revolutionize whole fields of study.
That's incredible.
It is.
Okay, but let's not forget, this is just one part of a much bigger transformation
Right.
that's happening in the tech industry right now.
It's a whole new era.
So if we zoom out a little bit,
Oh, yeah.
the rivalry between Microsoft and OpenAI
Yeah.
is just one piece of the puzzle.
Right.
It's raising fundamental questions about the future of innovation.
It really is.
All right, so we've talked about the impact on businesses, the potential benefits and concerns for everyday users, and the broader societal implications.
Yeah.
But what about the competitive landscape itself?
Okay.
Who else is in this race? And what are the rules of the game?
That's where things get even more interesting.
Okay, I'm ready.
Because it's not just about two companies
Right.
battling for dominance.
The whole ecosystem
It is.
with big players and scrappy startups and a whole web of collaborations.
Right.
And that's what we're going to explore in part 3. So get ready for the final showdown. Okay, so welcome back to the final part of our AI deep dive.
Yeah, we're in the home stretch.
We've talked a lot about Microsoft and OpenAI,
Right.
but like we were saying, they're not the only ones in this game.
Definitely not.
So who else is out there shaking things up in the AI world?
Well, you can't talk about AI without mentioning Google.
Of course.
They've been investing heavily in AI for years.
Yeah, they have a ton of resources.
Right. They've got their search engine, their machine learning expertise.
Right, and their cloud computing platform.
Yeah. So they're definitely a major player.
They're a force to be reckoned with, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's Meta.
Right. Meta's doing some really interesting stuff, too.
Yeah, they're no slouches when it comes to AI.
Nope.
Especially in areas like computer vision and natural language processing.
Right. They're pushing the boundaries in those areas.
Okay, so we've got these giants like Google and Meta, but what about the smaller companies, the startups?
Yeah.
Do they have any chance of competing in this AI arms race?
I think it's a classic David versus Goliath situation.
Right.
But in the world of AI, things move so fast
Yeah.
that being agile and having fresh ideas can be a real advantage.
Okay.
Startups are often more willing to take risks.
Right.
And that can lead to some really groundbreaking innovations.
So it's not necessarily a winner-take-all game.
Definitely not.
There's room for both the big companies and the startups.
Absolutely. In fact, we're seeing a lot of partnerships between them.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, the big companies might acquire a promising startup. Right.
To get access to their technology.
Exactly. And their talent. And the startups benefit from the resources
Yeah.
and the reach of the bigger companies.
So it's kind of a win-win situation.
Yeah, it's a symbiotic relationship.
I like that.
It's good for innovation,
Yeah.
and it helps make sure that AI benefits everyone,
That's a good point.
not just a select few.
Okay, so we've got this mix of competition and collaboration
Right.
happening in the AI world.
Yeah, it's a dynamic landscape.
But at the end of the day, what does it all mean for the average person?
Right.
Are we actually going to see real benefits from all these advancements in AI?
You already are.
Really?
Oh, yeah, you just might not realize it.
Like what kind of stuff?
Well, like we were talking about before, think about those personalized recommendations you get on Spotify or Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
Or the spam filters that keep your inbox from overflowing.
Cool.
Or even just using a voice assistant to get directions.
Right. It's all around us.
It is.
But it sounds like we're just getting started.
Yeah, We're still in the early stages.
So what kind of future are we moving towards?
Well, I think as AI keeps getting better,
Yeah.
we're going to see more personalized experiences,
Yeah.
more seamless interactions with technology.
Cool.
Imagine AI-powered healthcare systems
Okay.
that can diagnose diseases earlier and more accurately,
Yeah, that would be amazing.
or educational tools that adapt to each student's individual learning style.
Wow, that would revolutionize education.
It would.
But what about the workplace?
Yeah,
How is AI going to affect jobs?
that's a big question.
A lot of people are worried about that.
Yeah, and understandably so.
So what do you think is going to happen?
Well, AI will definitely automate certain tasks,
Right.
and that could lead to some job displacement.
Yeah, that's what people are worried about.
But it's important to remember that it will also create new jobs
Okay.
and enhance the jobs that we already have.
So it's not all doom and gloom.
No, it's not a zero-sum game.
Okay, so the key is to adapt
It's exactly.
and learn new skills.
Right, embrace lifelong
And
learning.
make sure that we can thrive in this new world.
Yeah, we need to make sure the benefits of AI are shared widely.
So it's not just about the technology itself.
Right.
It's about how we use it
Exactly.
to create a better future.
It's a powerful tool,
Yeah.
and we have a responsibility to use it wisely.
Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
what are the key takeaways for our listeners?
Well, first of all, I think it's important to stay curious
Yeah,
and informed.
right?
The world of AI is constantly changing.
It is.
So keep learning
Mhm.
and stay up to date on the latest developments.
And don't be afraid to ask questions
Definitely.
about the ethical implications of AI.
Right. We all have a role to play in shaping its future.
And finally, let's not forget to embrace the opportunities that AI presents.
Yes.
Whether you're a business leader, a student, or just someone who's interested in technology,
Mm-hmm.
AI has the potential to improve our lives in so many ways. It's been an amazing journey exploring all the complexities of AI
It is.
and thinking about what the future holds.
It's an exciting time.
It really is. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure talking with you.
The future of AI is in our hands. Let's make it a good one.